Yeah, so today's talking topic is all about TikTok ads. And the reason why I want to discuss TikTok ads is because I feel like in the e-commerce space at the moment, not many people are really looking to get involved with TikTok as an advertisement platform. So I just thought I'd share the next 25 minutes going over the basics, how to set everything up, what you should be looking for, how the platform works. Is it a good platform for you as an e-commerce business? So I'm going to get straight into the pros and cons of TikTok ads. So the first pro is going to be, it's very similar to Facebook ads. So if you're somebody now that's advertising on Facebook, which a lot of people are, the interface, the way it sets campaigns up, ad groups and stuff like that are very similar to Facebook. So the transition is pretty easy. Now, in terms of managing your ad sets, or your ad groups is what we call it on TikTok, how to manage everything is a lot more simple than Facebook and Google. You literally just leave things on. If the budget doesn't spend, then that means it doesn't work. So you don't really need to do too much to your ad groups and your campaigns. Just let them do what they need to do. Now, the biggest pro for TikTok is it's completely unsaturated. Like, when you go onto TikTok and you have a successful campaign, your CPCs, your CPAs, everything's just going to be so much cheaper compared to any other platform. And you don't really get to experience this till you spend a couple of months trying it. Now, some of the cons of TikTok is it's a new platform. So there are quite a lot of teething issues with it. So there's a couple of glitches. When things don't work, TikTok tend to stop spending your budget. So then you feel like, oh, there must be an issue, but it's just because your campaign's just not being hit with the right people, so they stop the budget being spent, which is better because with Facebook, they don't care if your campaign's not doing well, they'll still spend you money. But with TikTok, they don't do that. There's a higher barrier to entry with TikTok ads. It's more expensive. You're looking at spending at least $100 per campaign. With Facebook, you can get that down to 30. So it is a lot more expensive than Facebook in terms of barrier to entry. Now, in terms of what products work well on TikTok, now, not everything works really, really well on TikTok. There only are a few things in certain niches that do really, really well. Now, the first one is your viral products. So products that tend to do really well with videos, they tend to go viral, like your fidget spinners, the dog pet grooming glove, where you just basically groom your pet with the glove and it takes the hair off. Things like that are really, really good. Now, hacking products, things that are really good products that do little hacking, they're really good as well. Problem-solving products, things that can really solve things that can really solve problems do really, really well as well. And then the last one is your wow factor products, products that just get people's attention. They make people think, whoa, that's insane. Those kind of products will work really, really well on TikTok. And the reason why is because you've got to remember TikTok as a platform is a new platform. And what works really, really well on TikTok is engaging content. People are literally just going to swipe through the reels. So if they don't see anything that's engaging, that gets their attention as a advertisement, as a product, they're just going to click off it. So that's where it has to fit into one of those categories. Now, in terms of the videos, because videos is the key to TikTok, you can do photos on TikTok, but that's only for the TikTok ads other platforms. So when you use photos on TikTok, it's not actually going on TikTok, it's going on their other platforms that they own as a company. Now, videos are only allowed to be used on the TikTok ad platform. Now, in terms of what videos work well, I always say videos that last between 10 to 30 seconds. You don't want anything too long because people's attention span on that platform is very short. So you have to keep it sweet and simple. Now, in terms of what videos work really, really well on TikTok, now, compared to other advertising platforms, you don't want anything too professional. You don't want things that are super HD or really cinematic. It's meant to fit the platform. So with TikTok, people do things on their iPhones. So it has to be seen as it's been recorded on an iPhone. It's not been done too seriously. So it fits that platform. So again, where we actually order our TikTok ads videos from is actually Billo. Billo actually offer, or Billo, however you want to pronounce it. We actually order our video ads from this platform because they have influencers in-house that are professional at knowing how to record TikTok ads, which is amazing. Now, in terms of your copywriting, in terms of when you're doing ads on TikTok, when you're doing your ad copies, when you're doing your ad descriptions, you want to keep them very short and sweet. You want to keep them between 1 and 3 lines. Anything over that tends not to work really well for us. So I like to say keep it between 3 lines. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example of a ad copy, just so you guys understand what it can sound like. Now, this is for a product which is a self-stirring mug. So when you go to make yourself a coffee or a cup of tea, this mug, this product that I'm explaining to you, basically stirs it for you. You click a button, it'll stir the coffee and the sugar and the milk together. So now you guys know what the product is. I'm going to explain the ad copy. So this ad copy says, "This mug just made my life 10 times easier because I'm lazy." So that would literally be the product description for the ad that I'd run for that product. Now, it doesn't sound professional. It doesn't sound amazing, but it fits the platform, which is a sense of humor, something short and sweet, and it's going to make people laugh and think, wow, that's something that I could do as well. So it has to fit the platform. Now let's move on to the campaign setup. So if you guys are struggling right now to understand or follow along with me, I'd recommend that you either go on the TikTok Ads platform and sign up as well and rewatch this to understand what I'm talking about. But I really want to give you guys the real structure of how you should be setting things up. So when it comes to the campaign setup, you always want to be doing conversion, and nothing else really doesn't work anything better than conversion. And then your campaign name should always be your product name, and then testing, because you're testing that product out on the platform. And then the budget, you want to have it as no limit, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be cutting things off manually, so you don't need to set up any budget limits. And then in terms of your ad groups, your ad group name should always be the audience that you're targeting, the interest that you're targeting, and the age groups that you're targeting. Now, in terms of the promotion type that you want to use on the platform, you want to be using website as a promotion type. Now, in terms of the optimization, you always want to be going for event. And then the placement, I always do manual and just do TikTok only, because others will be optional, and those others do not work well at all. Now, in terms of user comment, you always want user comment turned on. And what user comment is it's where you enable people that see your ads to comment on your video. Now, video download, you should have that one off. I have that one off. It's where people that see your ad can download your video. I personally turn that one off. And then you've got automated creative optimization. I have that one turned off. That's where TikTok will play around with your creative and try and make it cool. I tend to find it doesn't work very well. And then targeting, this is your demographics now. I only use interest now. If you're familiar with Facebook, you know what I'm talking about, interest targeting. Now, with interest target, let's say I'm selling a beauty product. I might want to target beauty products or the beauty industry. Now, with TikTok ads, the industry section is pretty broad. You haven't got very specific interest like you do on Facebook. So they put them in categories. So you only want to be using one per ad group. Now, ad group, for those that don't understand, is like an ad set on Facebook. And then we're going to move on to the location. You always want to be doing one location per ad group, and you want to be doing what I call the top 5. Now, at the moment, I don't believe USA is working, so you want to be doing things like the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, or the top EU countries like Germany, Spain, Portugal, the top spending power countries. And you want to try and avoid the high chargeback countries like Mexico, Brazil. Those ones will give you higher chargeback, so I don't recommend them. And then if we're going to move on to the gender, I always recommend doing both genders, unless your product's a beauty product that's designed for women only, then you're going to want to choose women. And then in terms of the age groups that work well on TikTok, I always say 18 to 55, keep it broad. A lot of people will say, oh, well, TikTok's designed for younger people. We're selling products that are designed for 35-year-olds, and it sells well on TikTok. So overall, I've not seen a massive issue with the age groups on TikTok. And then in terms of your languages, you can put a language on there like English all or Spanish all. I leave it as broad. I don't have anything in there. And then in terms of the interests and behaviors, I only use one interest or behavior in the actual ad group. And then in terms of the daily budget, you want to have it between 50 and 150, and that's per campaign and per ad group inside of the campaign. And yes, the budget is a lot higher than what you'd normally do, but that's how TikTok works. I find that if you do anything less than that, it just won't work. You won't get any spend, because with TikTok, the key is once the campaign's published, it's about making it spend money, because a lot of times you're going to find that your campaigns won't spend money, and that's because there's either a targeting issue, a budget issue, or that whole campaign as a whole is just flawed somehow. Now, in terms of the parting, you want it as all day. You want that campaign, that ad group to run all day. You don't want there to be times where it turns itself off, because that will ruin the optimization. And now this is the most important part: bidding. Now, if you guys are big in marketing. We call this one manual bidding. And you want to be doing this because this is very important for your campaigns to spend money and get the best results. Now, for you guys that are familiar with Facebook, you normally do lowest cap, which means that Facebook will try and find the lowest bid to get a purchase and they do it for you. On TikTok, you're actually manually bidding for your place. Now, I always recommend you do $15 to $25. And now you want to have it as that price range. And whilst you let the campaign run, you want to see which works well. Start with 15. If that doesn't spend, try 20. If that doesn't spend 20, try 25. And then let's say you do 25, but then 20 works, drop it back down. And you just have to really play around with it. Now, in terms of the ad level is the creative that people will see when you're running your TikTok ad. And this I always call the ad name, creative one. The ad format, single video. The display name will be your brand name. And that's what they'll see at the bottom left. And then your text will be the ad copy. And again, that's a 3-liner. And then your call to action should always be shop now. And then the URL that you're sending your traffic to should be your product page. And that's what you're going to get the best conversion for. Now, in terms of when you've launched your campaign, what should you be doing next? How should you be managing things? You basically want to leave it running for a good 4 or 5 days. And the key with TikTok is the campaign spending my budget? If it's not, then there's something wrong with the campaign. And again, it will either be the bidding, it'll be the budget, or it'll be the targeting. So those are the 3 things I'd always look for. And then the key is just to make sure that the campaign's spending money every day. And over a few days, you'll see some results. Now, the good thing, like I said, with TikTok is if you're not getting results, it won't spend your budget, which is great. With Facebook, you could leave your campaigns running for 30 days. You could be getting no sales, but it'll still spend your money, which is crazy. So that's how you do it. Now, in terms of scaling your TikTok ads, you want to be basically duplicating ad groups. You might want to be testing different ads inside of ad groups. So you might want to have one ad group, which is the targeting section, but have 3 creatives running under that ad group. You might want to duplicate the campaign and try different audiences. So that's how I really do my TikTok ads. Now, I know that was a lot what I said, and it's hard to really understand without you visualizing it. But I'd always recommend that you guys sign up for a TikTok advertising account. Now, in some countries, you will need a GST number or a number. They are letting people without those actually get involved, but for some reason they are keeping it cost strict. But I always, like I say, recommend that you try it out, give it a go, have a play with it, because Facebook might not always be the one that is going to be the #1 advertising platform. Google might not always be the #1 advertising platform. So you need a plan B. And I honestly see TikTok ads being the plan B for the next 3 to 5 years. Because if you look at the TikTok users, if you look at the actual social media users, a lot of people are using TikTok more than they're using Instagram and Facebook. So you really need to adapt to the new advertising platforms. So I hope you guys understand a little bit more now about how TikTok actually works.